everybody. Let's see if I can adjust that camera just a little bit. How'd you like my note today? I had to do something because I wanted to get it streaming first. Get it started. Hang on just a second. Let me get rid of my note. I want to see if I can tilt this camera a little bit more. I wonder if that light will bother it. Oh, that's better. I know I'm not real bright. Sorry about that. It's where I am. Someplace in the comments, I saw that it's Mother's Day someplace, and I don't know where it was. And I don't have the mouse here, so I can't see. Oh, well. Happy Mother's Day, wherever it's Mother's Day. I got to do something about this lighting, don't I? Oh, we got people from California here, too. Wow. I'm going to try to move this around and see if I can operate the computer from over here. If you can't tell already, we are going to be pressing today because I have got, oh, that'll work good. Okay. I've got a ton of ironing to do. It's Mother's Day in Scotland. Lindsay is here with us. I don't know if Tracy's here yet or not, but I definitely am. Happy Sunday, Karen. So I moved you guys over to here. I'm going to go turn out one set of lights and see if that helps brighten it up in here, okay? Hang on. No, I guess this is what we're stuck with. Sorry, guys. We're going to be pressing today. I have got a ton of ironing to do. I've got a whole stack right here in front of me. This is the first, this is the next quilt, which I will have, let's see, what have I gotten done so far? So far, I've gotten the first part all filmed and the cutting of it all filmed, and I have this to press, and I also have a huge stack of fat bundles to press. So I'm going to start with these, and then we'll work on to the next one while we talk today. I got to move a chair. I'm not very organized this time. Sorry, guys. I thought I was. My mother and my two sisters and my soon-to-be brother-in-law popped in a little while ago to see me, which was just wonderful because I don't always get to see them. So I really enjoyed that. I like that it's Mother's Day someplace. That's really neat. That is cool. All right, we're going to get this pressed. I think my iron's hot now. Yeah, it is. We're going to get this all nice and pressed and try to answer questions at the same time if anybody has any. Last week I told you guys that there was some really exciting news that I wanted to share with you. Well, it happened on Wednesday, and I am beyond thrilled. My husband and I have always wanted land, and we've never been able. We've tried to get a couple of different pieces of it, but you know, we've never found the right piece. We found one in the neighborhood not long ago that we tried to purchase, and it all fell through, and we were really disappointed. And then we tried to find another one, didn't. Well, anyhow, the long and short of it is on Wednesday, one of my husband's dreams came true. And I am beyond thrilled to say we went and purchased 60 acres of land across the street from us. So as my studio was my dream all of my life to be able to do this, my husband's dream came true on Wednesday, and he got his 60 acres of land. So we are in heaven. I wanted to take you on a little nature walk or a little walk through the property when we closed on it so that you guys could all see how gorgeous it is back there. But Mother Nature didn't agree with me, so I couldn't. We ended up with more snow, and then we ended up with rain, and we just could not. I couldn't get out on the property. If there's no house there, it's purely just for hunting. My husband does hunt, and so consequently, that's what the property's for. We're gonna do that. And it's just a nice piece of property to own and to be able to go walk on with the grandchildren and explore and enjoy. There's a gorgeous creek in there, and I'm told that there's a beautiful small waterfalls, but I haven't gotten back there to see it yet. So I'm pretty excited about all of that. Thank you. I'm really excited about it. All the kids, well, everybody but Jackie came up Wednesday night for dinner. My son-in-law, Tony, made pizza for us and wings, and my best friend and her husband came down, and we all celebrated it. It just was really wonderful to see one of my husband's dreams come true. You know, he worked really hard, he still does, all of his life to provide for us. And so consequently, I was really happy to see one of his dreams come true. So that's my big news, and I cannot wait to take you guys out there and have you see it, because it's just gorgeous. It's really pretty land. So that happened this week. This morning, I got my Olivia quilt on the long arm. So it's on. So if any of you out there, if I have one of your quilts here, it is coming, but I got to get Olivia done. And I'm sorry to put my own quilt on there because I don't usually do that. But I really need to get it quilted. So, Margaret, what I'm working on, Lori, is I am pressing the blocks for the quilt that will be announced on Saturday, the 1st of April. I have been busily getting it sewn together. I have to learn to make small quilts, and I haven't done that yet. So I'm busily getting it pressed out so that we can get it all put together. I'll show you one finished block. I did do a test block, and I'll actually pin it up behind me so you can see. This is a test block that I did up, and these 4 corners are going to do something different once we get it all put together, but that's the test block so that you can see it. So, yeah, so that's what it is. If you guys want to work ahead, just well, I'll tell you in Friday's video or Saturday's video how far ahead you can go, because with this one, once you get to the stage that I'm at here, there's going to be some pretty specific trimming directions to help so that everybody's quilts are nice and square. So I wanted to switch things up a bit, so you will see that. So, I'm trying to think what else is going on. Oh, I have started designing the next quarter quilt, and I have done the design. I've picked it all out and decided exactly what I'm doing, and I am doing it out of Kate Facet's fat quarter bundles that I saw. I showed those to you guys last week. I'm going to actually iron them once I get done with this stack, if we finish this stack in time. So I'll show you. I'll grab them so that you can see them. I love this fabric. Look. Isn't it just the coolest? So I'm pretty excited about that. These are the back quarter bundles that I'm going to use for next month's or next quarter's quilt, just so that you know. I did get them from Craftsy. I'm not certain that we're going to be using all of them, and I haven't exactly decided what ones out of there we are going to use. So, that's what that is, and I'm very excited about it. I got the seal of approval from one of my sisters today. She said it will work, what I want to do. So, there's that. And as soon as I get this quilt put together, then I will start writing the directions for the next one. I try to be almost a full quarter ahead of you guys, but it's not always easy right now. I do need to start thinking about the last quarter quilt, which will be what? October, November, and December. And I have no clue of what I'm doing. Ironing is probably your favorite. Ironing is probably one of the most important parts. Honestly, I mean, ironing is important. You have to iron. So that's what's going on. We've had a really rotten weather up north. Has anybody had nice weather? Because we certainly haven't. It's been really yucky. I like starching too. I don't tend to do anything that smells though because of my asthma. And honestly, if I get to the fat quarters, I'll show you. Both of these pieces have already been starched at this stage. So it's got some nice body to it. It's not real flimsy because it's already been starched. So I don't need to starch it this time. I'll be good until the very end. When I do the very last press, then I'll starch again. So that's what I'm doing. But I knew I had to get this done, and I thought, oh, this is the perfect time. Oh, mid to high 80s. It's been nice in North Carolina, too. It has not been here. We have had rain. We have had snow. We have had wind. My husband took me for a short drive down to Lake Ontario yesterday to see the ice formations on the pier. And I was surprised that there still is quite a bit of ice out there. I thought more of it would have been gone by now. He said the ice went out of the inside bay earlier in the week, but then he texted me, he's down at work now, he texted me and said that the ice was back in again. So Jennifer asked a question. What haven't I done, Lindsay? If I'm missing question, guys, I'm sorry. Say something to Lindsay and Lindsay will pass it through to me. Because I'm not sitting in front of the computer this time. The computer's sitting on my sewing table, and I've moved my pressing station so I could stand here and iron because I needed to keep working. I want to get this done. No, I have not given cutting instructions. Those will be out on Saturday on this YouTube channel, and we will stick a link to it so that everybody can see it. Yeah, you're not behind, Jennifer. You're far from behind. Like I said, I try to get ahead of you guys. My hope was to have this top completely done by Saturday so that you could see what it looked like finished, but I just don't know that I'm going to make it that far. We're hoping that Lindsay's going to have hers done so we could maybe show Lindsay's. So I think Lindsay's at the same point I'm at, right, Linz? You're doing your 4 strips. I think that's where she's at. She said she was short 1. Oh, Debbie had nice weather in Chicago. Well, Deb, we should have your Chicago weather in a couple days then. We usually get it just a little bit after you. That nor'easter that came up the coast, that New York City was all shut down for. New York City didn't get it, but we did. Yeah. So. Okay, Lindsay said she's one step behind me. So she's getting there, but her quilt's not as big as mine. So hopefully this week she'll get a chance to get hers done. I may actually get this whole pile pressed. It would be nice. In Washington State, Diane, is that where you are? Or Washington, D.C.? Oh, UK's lovely today. That's not fair. I want to go. That's one of my bucket list items, ladies. I want to go to the UK someday. I honestly and truthfully do. So, that's coming up. So what else is going on with you guys? I'm getting pretty excited. The end of April, I am going to Keepsake Quilting. Has anybody ever been there? Any suggestions for me while I'm there? I'm going on a bus with a group of women for I think we're actually going for 2 nights, which I'm very excited about. Well, Susan, I think we need to do a big trip, all of us together. Oh, Diane, I have been to Washington State. I was there a couple years ago. I went out for a Crabapple Hill class, and we spent a little bit of time in Seattle, and it was beautiful. It was absolutely gorgeous. So it is a beautiful area. Oh, Diane, must be you do get Keepsake Quilting's catalogs. I get them. I just want to go see the store. Yeah, Tressie, it is better to starch. Either use spray starch, I like Mary Ellen's, or this magic sizing. This is the other thing I use. It's, who makes it? Maybe Niagara? I'm not sure. It's magic sizing, and you can get this for like $1 a bottle. And it's really inexpensive. So either one. I like both of them. Right now I'm using my Mary Ellen's. I don't know why. I tend to go in spurts with them. But yeah. I always press everything. And the only reason why I always starch everything one way or the other, either the spray starch or the sizing. This I can feel still has quite a bit on it from when I originally pressed the pieces, which is the only reason why I'm not doing it now. Plus I have to sew on another piece. That one, once that next piece gets on, then I will definitely be sizing it or starching it again. Jennifer, I have no clue what the difference is between the two of them. I just know that if I use the Niagara spray starch, I get that flaky stuff on it. When I use sizing, I don't. So if anybody else knows what the difference is, yes, the sizing is definitely non-flaking. Yeah, magic sizing does smell a little bit, Lynch, you're right. I would love to hire a plane, Arlene, and come over. Believe me. If ever an opportunity opens up to go over there and teach, I will be flying. I promise you. I will be on my way because that's something I would love to do. Yeah, I absolutely love it. My father went and bought a rail ticket, so he traveled all through Europe He went all over the place. He went to Holland, he went to Paris, he went to France, and obviously England, and just he traveled the whole rail system. And I'm one of 6, and he made it through. He went the first time alone. Then the second time he went, he took my oldest brother. The third time he went, he took my 2 older sisters. And then the fourth time he would have taken me and my younger brother, but he didn't live that long. He died of cancer. So consequently, I've never been. I do use, Diane, the no odor kind because of my asthma. I love the scents, but I know enough to not do it. Every once in a while, I get this wire that says, oh, I gotta have something that smells really good. And I'll buy a candle or something that has a smell in it. And then my kids yell at me because I end up having an asthma attack and I can't breathe. So, yeah, Jennifer, I tried the sizing. I've used it. And, well, obviously. In fact, I sent a can home with Lindsay. Lindsay, you have a can of it. Do you like it? Oh, Pat, you do use magic sizing also? Good. Wait a minute. I'm thinking I need to change my fabric I picked out for the next quilt. I have no idea what color I would choose to do a border like you're doing. Oh, Lindsay does like it. Good. She likes the magic sizing. Suzanne, don't worry, okay? Don't worry about that border fabric so much. It's a lot like the Olivia's quilt. You know how it just had a little bit of color someplace? You could do a white would be pretty. I wouldn't necessarily do another print, but you could do a grunge fabric on the border. You could do, anything that reads a solid, okay? You could absolutely do that. Linz, keep a hold of the messages because they're happening so fast I'm having a hard time reading them all. Yeah, Dee Dee, my daughter bought me one, and I do pretty good with the soy-based ones, but honestly, they bother my asthma too. And yes, that is there a name on it? Yes, that is my iron. I love it. Yeah, Lindsay does quilt. Kathy asked about supporting YouTubers for their channel. I would say there's a couple of ways you can support us. One of the ways is by watching the videos. Anytime there's comments or a thumbs up, that helps. Anytime if you're at a quilt group or you have friends that like to quilt, passing on their name helps. And hooking them up and doing that helps. Telling them about the channel helps. If you have an opportunity to buy from my website, that helps me. If you have quilts that need quilting, that kind of helps me because I get to do those. I just did 4 of somebody's quilts. Gail just did, and that helps me. The biggest thing that helps me on YouTube is when you leave comments, obviously positive comments, and when you do the thumbs up. The thumbs downs do deter from my ratings, but that's really what helps a lot. For 10 or so minutes. Oh, wait a minute, guys. I have to read this. Somebody said, what I have found about starch, that you need to let it sit on the material for 10 or so minutes to give it time to set the material, and then you don't get all the flaking. Okay, I've never tried that. Somebody on here did suggest once to me to try putting the sizing or the starch on the back side and let it steam up through. And I did try, and it worked out. It did help. It worked out good. I'm not a fan of magic sizing on small pieces, but it's great on ironing big pieces like fat quarters or backing fabric. Okay. Non-aerosol spray starch plus, and I don't have any. Okay. Yeah, see, the last time I used the Niagara spray starch, I had a lot of flaking. So I walked away from it and just went over to the starch. Should the fabric be starched also before cutting? Yes. Yes. I'm going to show you because I think I'm actually going to get through this pile. And I'm going to show you because I have this huge pile of fat quarters to press. And I'll be doing those. So you'll see how I prepare my fat quarters. Okay. Pat, I haven't heard that watching the commercials beforehand helps or doesn't help. You know, when I'm watching the YouTubers that I watch, I do tend to let it go through the commercials. I don't stop it from going through the commercials. So I'm not sure. That's not something that they've ever told me. I did reach the point finally that YouTube did reach out to me last week or the week before. Recently they reached out to me, and they're now I now can get into classes. So I'll start taking those classes. The first class that I could have gotten into was actually the day we closed on the land, so I couldn't do it. So consequently, I'm hoping in the next week or two I can get into more classes, and that will teach me more of what I need to do. The biggest thing is the subscribers and then the views. That I think helps tremendously. And comments, you know. You're welcome, Suzanne. Wendy, I just find that if I starch it before I cut it, then I'm dealing with a nice crisp piece of fabric, and I just find I don't have as many problems with it distorting when I go to cut it. It seems to just stay together better. This iron I got shortly after we moved me into the studio. It is how is it pronounced? Islo, Olis. I don't know how it's pronounced, but anyhow, it's a iTouch, and it's a Pro. And what happens is you can set it down like that and see it'll pick itself up so that it doesn't burn your cutting board. I tend to use it both ways. There's sometimes that I just set it down flat. There's other times I pick it up. So if you leave your iron on, it's supposed to automatically shut off, and it picks up so that you have less risk of fire. But I don't ever, I can't say I don't ever. I try to never leave my iron going when I leave the studio at night. There's something about it running when I'm not in here that makes me nervous. So starch before quilting, eliminate fraying. I think it does help on the fraying. I do. I don't know, I have nothing scientific to back it up with, but I do think it does help. So I absolutely am going to get through this pile. I am so excited. Now I can start cutting them up and getting them ready for the second step. So, and I'm very excited that the Olivia quilt is on the long arm. I've got the back on. The front's ready to go on. I just got to go up in the attic and grab some batting. Let's see. Oh, 54 degrees yesterday. Wow. Wendy, yes, in fact, on the Facebook group last week, there, if I can get, let's see, how many do I have to have? I have to have 9 people. If I can get 9 people together, there is a place that is not far from me that we can do a weekend retreat or a few day retreat. So, but I need 9 people. And those 9 people would be 3 to a room, and I would absolutely do it. Yeah, absolutely. People, do you think instead of 2.5? Most of the time, the people that I know of that stitch at the 2.0 instead of the 2.5, I believe that they're doing it for like paper piecing. I don't know of many quilters that stitch at 2 for just regular sewing. I hope it would be no problem, Beverly. I would really like to do a retreat weekend. I think it would be a lot of fun. I don't know. Back to the stitch length question, I don't know a lot of people that use 2.0. I'm not yeah, unless they're doing paper piecing. And the reason why they do the 2 is so that they can easily get the paper off. That's the reason why they make the paper thinner, or the stitches smaller. Yes, Lindsay asked, somebody must have asked if I was going to record the quilting of Olivia's quilt. Yes, I am. I already taped this morning when I was putting the backing on, and then I will record when I set it up and how I came up with my pattern design, and I still haven't picked out the thread, so you will see me picking out the different threads, trying to decide what color. I didn't realize, Jennifer, I didn't realize that Leah Day did it at that length. I don't know. Ask her why. Possibly that's what her machine defaulted at. My machine actually defaults at like a 2.3. It's not all the way to the 2.5. It defaults at the 2.3. Yeah. Oh, paper piecing is usually 1.5? Wow, I usually go down to just about 2. So maybe I'm doing it wrong. Wow, okay. The piecing stitch with my Bernina 750 is at 2. Yeah. Oh, she's, okay. I understand now, Jennifer. The reason why she uses a smaller stitch is because she opens all the seams up. And what I've been always told is the reason why people say that you press to one side or the other, it's because what you're doing is giving it more stability. So, like on this piece, you're pulling it apart. If you've got it folded over, you're less apt to see the stitches. But if you open the seam, I'm going to open this seam if I can, because it's already been pressed. See, you can see through it. Or at least I can from here. So you have less stability. Well, one of the things that could happen when you open up your seam, and this makes sense why Leah would do a shorter stitches, when you're quilting it, you could very well puncture one of your stitches, and therefore it could fray. Yeah. Yeah, I haven't had a problem with my seams coming apart, and I think I'm like at a 2.3. The only time I had problems with my seams coming apart was I was using thread from Joann's that was a polyester based thread. It was polyester with cotton over the top of it, and I actually melted it. So from pressing it. So consequently, that's why. They're telling me, Wendy, that Leah Day does, what was it, 2.0 or 1.5? 1.5, I think they said. Can somebody repeat that? What stitch length that Leah does? Because yeah. Could somebody repeat that? Because I'm not sure what it was. Hey guys, I gotta show you this. We all know that this is Lion's quilt. Oh, Leah Day uses the 1.5. When I got going through this fabric, there are lions in it. Now, I know lion's name is spelled Lyon and a lion is spelled Lion, but I gotta tell you, I was so excited when I saw this. I, on the other hand, never wanted anything that had to do with lions, but Lion doesn't care. So look at this. And there are a couple different patterns with it. I was very, very excited. We only have a few more to go. And then, oh, here comes another one of my favorites in this group. I'm excited about this quilt. My sisters, I showed them when they were here this morning about it, and they really liked it. So I'm very, very excited about it. Just a few more. Look at this pattern. Isn't it just the coolest? Can you see the little gold in it? Isn't that cute? I love this. For scant quarter, I usually move my needle over one. Yeah, a lot of people do. The biggest thing with your quarter or scant quarter is just make sure that you're consistent all the way through your quilt. Somebody just bought a long arm. Okay, Mary, she says, I just bought a long arm that I have to free motion besides stipple. Which stitch do you think is good for beginners? I start with your free motion, because stippling, what I worry about is you getting too worried about it, so that you would do, when you're running your machine, what you want to do is make sure that you keep your shoulders really relaxed, because if you start stiffing up your shoulders, it's really going to hurt to run it. So what you want to do is just very gently, just kind of go around. And I would start with a bigger one. Which should I be using, a scant quarter inch? Whichever is the best or the easiest for you to do. Because if doing a scant quarter is the easiest, that's great. I tend to sew with a scant quarter. But if you sew with a full quarter, that's fine. You just want to consistently sew with that quarter inch all the way through your quilt. What you don't want to do is go back and forth between the two sizes, because then your blocks aren't all going to be consistent. So that's really your most important thing. Teacher, I know a teacher who says always use a scant quarter, then another says just be consistent. See, I've always said just be consistent. To me, that's the most important. Tressie, I'll get you my, hang on and I'll grab a spool of my thread for you. I use the Aurifil 50 weight. This is the thread I use. This Aurifil 50 weight thread. I love it. It is expensive, but it is a great thread. It's fine, but it's strong, and it really is a great thread. That's my favorite, and that's what I always use. That's my absolute favorite. What kind of thread do you use for your sewing machine? That's what I use. I use the Aurifil. And then on my long arm, I tend to use cotton ones. I don't, I stay away from the polyesters. I don't know why. I guess because I learned how to sew on it with the cotton, I probably will experiment a little bit, but I use mostly King Tut, and then I do use the Cotton Superiors, some of them. So, Mary, that's what I use is King Tut. I tend to quilt a lot with variegated threads, and people have no clue that the threads are even variegated because there's a couple colors like alabaster that I use a lot. Alabaster is it's a white, but it's different shades of white, and it is beautiful. I understand, Pamela. Pamela said she has a Juki that's on a I think is it on a Grace? Yeah, she has a Grace frame with a short arm Juki on it, and she said she wants a long arm. Susan, what do you always buy from Craftsy? I missed that. So yeah, I love my long arm, but I mean it's my business. That's actually, guys, where I get all of my income from, or the bulk of my income from, is from my long arm. That's why, like last week when there wasn't a video, it was because I just was so inundated with quilts that I didn't have time to film a video. Look at this. Can you see? I have to show you this. Can you see this lion? I think where is it? Right here. Isn't that just the cutest little thing? I just love this. I just think it's adorable. I think we're going to hit a home run with this one, ladies. All right, these are my fabrics, and this is how I do my fat quarters. Yeah. This is how I do them. Just simple. Oh, I love this fabric. This thing is gorgeous. Oh, look at the detail. Can you see the detail in the flower? Beverly, if you're having a hard time, you're gonna think I'm crazy. What you have to do is relax. That's the biggest thing for free motion quilting, is just relax and just do it. That's all you can do. You just gotta give it a shot. That's it. I hope I'm not missing any questions. Oh, we're using the same fabric? I'm really happy with them. I'm so excited. So you saw I did one. Now I'm working. Oh, Stephen, that's a great idea. He said doodle on paper first. Yeah. Yeah. You really just need to practice. I always have a sandwich of fabric underneath on my second bar on my long arm so that I can at any point in time easily zip on another piece and go for it. I've never tried free motioning on my domestic machine. So what I've done is I've sprayed my fabric. I just kind of wait a second. I don't wait a long time. And then I just press it. And you can see I've got another piece underneath this. I'll do a stack of, I don't know, till it gets to the point that I think it's time to move them. And then I'll just move them. Yeah, I'm really excited about that quilt. I think it's going to be really, really cool. The gold that is around the edges here, that is absolutely not in my comfort zone. These are more my, the bright pinkies and purples and yellows, and those are more my colors. But I wanted to try something different. So this is all I do, and then I'll let this sit for, I'm not going to be cutting this right away. I'll just set it someplace where the fabric line is from Cotton and Steel. It's a bundle that I got. It was a special bundle that I got through, where did we get it? We got it through Craftsy, I think we got it from. And I've had it for a long time because I contacted them trying to see if the fabric was still available for you guys, and it's not. Pieces of it are, but that's it. Oh, the fabric on my ironing board this is real ironing board fabric, and it's adhesive on one side, and I have a sheet of plywood. There's a sheet of plywood here, and then I have a layer of cotton batting. There's no polyester in it, it's only cotton. And then I have this material, which is the real ironing board material, so it's that silver reflective stuff to help put it back in. So I got it from my distributor. So if you have a quilt shop locally, they will be able to get it for you, more than likely. If you have a difficult time getting it, let me know, because I can get it for you. So so yeah, I forget where I'm going. All right. So this is how I get my fat quarters ready. And like I said, I'll get this group ready now, but I'm not going to be even ready to start sewing on this for a week or so. So I'll just take this and lay it someplace flat, and then when I'm ready to start using it, I will start using it. That's all. Yeah, this next quilt's going to be really different, guys. I've yet to get all the measurement calculations done and all that stuff, but I think it's going to be neat. No, Lori, I don't always use white for my background. Like on this quilt, the gold is actually considered my background fabric. I'll use, I like to use off-whites. I like to do quilts that don't have any white in them at all. My Victoria Finley Wolf quilt from last year, that was the Pat Sloan My Secret Garden, when I did that one here on YouTube. That quilt doesn't have any white in it at all. It's all color. The whole thing is color. Yeah. They say that you should have some place for the eyes to rest, but there's no place for your eyes to rest on that quilt at all. What I'm learning is that I tend to learn more from just doing it than I do anything else. And I don't know if I like it or not, so I just keep trying it, you know? That's the nice thing about those little 6.5 inch blocks or 5.5 inch blocks, because you get to try different things. I'm glad you like it, Jennifer. What pattern is who using, Mary? Stephen? Aw, that's great, Stephen. Stephen just started out really slow, and by the time he got to the end of it, he said he felt like he was really getting into a rhythm with it. That's exciting. Yeah. So you guys have helped me this week, because now I feel like I've accomplished something. I was really getting worried about getting time to do those blocks for that quilt. I didn't think I was going to have time. One of the things that I am going to do as I separate this quilt, or as I press it, is now this is all blues that really are primarily blues. And I'm going to take these and I'm going to put these in one pile together, because when I go to put this quilt together, this is the third one, I need more of a color separation. So I am going to change this up. Usually I just would keep pressing the whole bundle, but this time I got a couple more blues over here that I'm going to add to it, and then I'm just going to separate it by color a little bit, because I really want to keep my colors somewhat together. Like, to me, that one reads more blue than anything else. So does that one. Mary, these fat quarters that I've got right now, I'm going to be using these for the third quarter quilt, which has not been announced yet. It won't be announced until July 1st, but these are going to be for that quilt. I kind of have to be a quarter ahead of you. Do you have the amounts needed for the... Yes, I do, and I will announce all of those on Saturday. I do have all of those numbers now, so we're good. The quilt ended up taking more fabric for the background than what I really thought it should. So used my quilt and Lindsay's quilt as the test, and while you'll have a little bit of extra with the background material, the numbers are correct. You won't have much extra. As for the fat quarters, I do those pretty precisely. You won't have a lot of extra on either. I don't ever hesitate to buy an extra quarter of a yard when I'm doing things. So yeah, so that's what I'll do. So yeah, on Saturday, all of that will be out. How many fat quarters you need for whatever size quilt, or Saturday it'll be the 1st, and how much background fabric you need, and all of that. And believe me, you will have plenty of time, because this next quilt goes April, May, and June. So as long as you just have a little bit of time each week to work on it, you'll be good. It'll be a good practice. Look at this. Wouldn't that be a gorgeous binding cut on the bias? Oh, yeah. I don't think I'm going to put a border on either one of these quilts, the next one coming up or the third quarter, the July one, but I am trying to, for the October, November, and December quilt, I am going to do a border, because I want to show you guys the right, how to do borders. Peg, I don't find that my iron, Pat, I don't find that my iron does get sticky. Yeah, Jennifer, I do always starch it. Now I'm just going to take this bundle, and I got to walk out of camera view for a second. And I'm just going to lay it down on the table so that it's nice and flat. and it has time to cool off. And it'll be nice and starched and flat for me. All right, I'm back. I want to go to brighter colors. I'm going to this bundle next, just because I want more color. I love that indigo blue too. I think it's really pretty. All right, we're on to this bundle. Okay, just because I needed some more brights. No. Oh, look at these. I got to meet Kay Fassett last year, and oh. Dee Dee, yes, I will be giving, in the very first video, I will be doing fabric requirements. I will show you exactly how I cut my blocks up for Lion's Quilt. We actually were able to do a camera overhead so that you can see exactly how I did it. And I think that's as far as I go. Then the next video will show you how to get to this stage right here where you've just got the 4 blocks, this stage. Oh, hang on. The second video shows you how to get to this stage. All right. Then the third video will be just cutting this because we've all got to cut it. Okay. So that's how that will work. And then the next video after that will be attaching these pieces. Okay, so we're gonna, yeah, the most important step is going to be attaching what in my quilt is the gold, and then also the step right after you attach the gold. No, I don't pre-wash it. Especially with fat quarter bundles, I don't pre-wash. Where are you pulling the starch? Where are you putting the starch fabric so it doesn't wrinkle? Right now, it's actually sitting right on my sewing table, which is what the computer's sitting on. My husband so kindly moved the computer over to the sewing table. He does it. Saturday nights, he says to me, "Are you doing that live thing tomorrow?" And I say, "Yep." He goes, "Okay." And then he moves the computer for me so that it's over at my sewing table. And then tomorrow morning before he leaves for work, he'll put it back over on my desk because I go live from my computer. So it's just sitting on a table. I will probably end up putting it behind me on a sewing table. Or on the table that holds my serger is where it'll probably end up. But I do try to put it someplace flat. You have a nice dinner, Pam. Jennifer, I don't know that I'm an expert teacher. I enjoy teaching, though. I do have concerns with red fabrics bleeding. What I do, Amy, is I use color catchers. You can get them in your grocery store or you can get them at a quilt shop. And I use color catchers. And I don't hesitate to throw in 3 or 4. I mean, I don't. If you've been with me for a while, you might know I do absolutely use all of my quilts. I have, how many exceptions to that, Lindsay? I have 3 right now exceptions to that. I do not wash the 2 wedding ring quilts that are done in my washing machine. I 100% did those by hand. I hand pieced, hand quilted, hand cut, everything. And I also very carefully wash. There's one quilt up on top of my closet. I don't know that you can see it from here. That was in McCall's magazine, and that one does not get washed in the machine. I wash that one in the bathtub with quilt soap is what I do. Well, thank you guys so much. I do appreciate it. I just, you guys have no concept of how, well, maybe you do, but it wasn't until recently that Lindsay even realized that that how much it means to me to be able to teach to you guys. It really means the world. Tressie, I've heard that too about starch attracts bugs. I can't answer that because I live in the north. So usually by the wintertime, we have pretty harsh winters, so the bugs are all dead. But I don't use, well, Mary Ellen's I use, but that's it. Oh, Lindsay knows I'm about ready to cry. Somebody said something about, I missed it. Lindsay, help me. There was something about the Moda Blockheads. I want to do it, and I picked out some 30s fabric that I would absolutely love to do it in. I'm trying to figure out if I have the time. I just, I don't know if I have the time to do it right now. On Friday last week, I took in 12 quilts, and that's a lot, and 2 of them are custom, and a custom quilt can take me any place from 3 to 10 days to do, depending upon, you know, how custom it is. And I mean, if YouTube was my full-time and only job, then yes, I could absolutely do it. But right now, it's not. I have to, you know, my long arming is what pays my bills. Okay, wait a minute. What? Do you find that you have to buy extra half yard of fabric to square up yardage, or do you buy off the bolt? I buy off the bolt, okay? When I buy fabrics, I buy them off the bolt. What I do though, in fact, I think I said something on the video that I did when attaching it. If I am buying a piece of fabric that is extra wide for backing, if it's not fabric that I already own, I ask them to please tear it, not to cut it, because you can go from, when you get a fresh bolt of extra wide backing material, okay? And I can't show you one because I already did the new one. I got a new bolt in this yesterday or Friday. But you could start in your first piece, you could be going like a half an inch or an inch and clipping it. And by the time you get to the other end, you could be 4 or 5 inches in. Whenever they roll an extra wide backing material onto a bolt, they try really, really hard for it to be square, but it's not. So please make sure that you ask your quilt shop to rip, not cut, your extra wide backing material. If you're ordering it online, then yes, I would absolutely positively order an extra half a yard, because they aren't going to tear it for you. They're going to cut it. And you really could end up short. And if you don't tear extra wide, it doesn't come out straight. There are quilt shops out there that the only thing they do is tear the fabric off the bolt. They don't ever cut it. Yeah. So that's my answer to that. What you are, oh guys, thank you so much. I'm sorry. Pamela said some of them are hard. Let's see. I missed something. see you do something else besides iron. Today, was that what it was? Today I'm only going to iron. In fact, once we get through this bunch, this bunch, see this bunch? That's probably going to be it, because I really, I want to get started on, I need to get the quilting part of Olivia's quilt set up so that I can get that quilted. Friday's going to be here before you guys know it, and I got to get that quilt, at least the quilting done and the binding sewn on, so that you guys can see what it looks like done. Oh please. Pamela, usually during the live session she does busy. Oh, thank you, Lindsay. Yeah, usually during the live sessions I try to just do busy work so that I can concentrate on answering everybody's questions, because I like to be able to talk to you guys, and this is the only way I have found that I can communicate with you guys too. It's true. You don't have to concentrate on what I'm doing. Look at this piece of fabric, guys. Wait till you see this one. Holy Toledo. It is just gorgeous. Look at it. Oops. Isn't that beautiful? This quilt is going to be something, guys. But Olivia Lyon's quilt is just going to be cool. It is just going to be really cool. So if there's 9 of you out there that want to come to New York State, you guys got to let me know. All right, I'll go grab a big bolt and let you see how I rip the fabric, okay? Let me get this one pressed. I will. Hang on just a second, and I will show you. Let's see. All right, we'll do this one. All right, guys, this is a bolt. Somebody's asking about, somebody do English paper piecing. Nancy, I haven't either. I love fabric. Okay, so this is a bolt of, this is Moda's. This is actually one of the grunge, part of the grunge line. Can you see it? And this is 108 inches wide. All right, and I'm going to show you how it gets folded first so that you can understand what I'm talking about. Let's see if this, oh shoot. Hang on. Oh, guys. All right, let me move the mouse. It just went on the computer mouse. I hope it's still okay. See, what they do is they fold it in half first. All right, so I've got this big, long piece, okay? And then they fold it in half again so that they can fit it on a regular bolt. Well, by the time they have folded it the second time, it shifts, and there's nothing that they can do to stop it. It is nothing that they've done wrong. It's nothing that they can do to change it. So what I do is there's a shop, somewhat local shop, that takes quilting for me, okay? And whenever I get a new piece of backing, I just take the bolt, and I can see, here's where it attaches, so it's the selvage. And I just will do a small clip like this, just a small cut. And then I literally just rip it. That's it. This is what I do. I just rip it from one end to the other. And what ends up happening is now my pieces are really, see, they're pretty much the same width. There's not a difference to it. When I sent this piece of this fabric down, the end where I clipped off about an inch of it. The other end of it had a good 5 inches on it. And it is nothing that the manufacturer did wrong, okay? So, it is absolutely gorgeous country where I live. I live very, very close to Lake Ontario. In fact, that's where my husband took me last night, was Lake Ontario. And the place that we would have the retreat is in Watkins Glen, New York. And there is a raceway there and wineries like you would not believe. Gorgeous wineries. So that's where we would stay, in upstate New York. It's a beautiful area. So let me move my fabric back, okay? I'll be right back. Okay. Here I come. Pat asked what the name of the fat quarter bundle is. It's, if you go on to Craftsy and search for quilting fabric and then search for K Facet, or search for fat quarter bundles and then K Facet, you will see them come up with just his fabrics. And it's spelled Kaffeffessettt. Mary, she always says putting water in them will cause problems. She uses a spray bottle whenever she's using. I'm not sure. What would happen if I did that on a regular quilting cotton? The same thing, believe it or not. Yeah. If you're buying yardage off the bolt, the same thing. The difference is that when you buy yardage off of a bolt, for some reason, because they don't have that second fold, there always seems to be, you can get that fabric square. But you've seen me, the very first one I did, the Olivia's quilt, you could have gotten a little bit bigger of a block out of it, but I wanted to make sure that I could be square, so that's why I had extra. Yeah, so. What did Dee Dee say? I missed it. That's not fair. Yes, there will be wine. And in's walking my sister and my mother. Here comes my mother and my sister, everybody. I kid you not. We have guest appearances walking in. Come here, Mom. Careful, though. Come on. You can't leave because they will be very upset with me for not having you say hi to them.
Oh, my goodness.
This is my mom.
Do you get to see people?
This is my little girl. This is another little girl.
Here's my sister. Here comes Sue.
Hi, everybody.
This is old Susanna.
Well, I was. Not anymore, but.
Yeah, this is my mom. Lindsay's very upset because she wasn't invited.
Oh.
Lindsay just messaged me, hey, I wasn't invited. So,
Is she helping you today?
yep, she's helping me today. Yeah.
All right, we'll get out of here.
Yeah.
So I want to know, so everybody's asking you.
All kinds of questions.
Mary asked what fat quarters are for.
Oh, this bundle. She wanted to know what I was doing with these.
Which
Aren't
are
they
going to make
big
Hi,
enough?
Sue.
Yep.
Let's see. You guys, I don't understand how she does this. Let's.
Oh, okay, guys, this is like way off course. Here we go. Okay, the bottom picture there, Sue, you guys, at the bottom of the screen, bottom of my monitor, is my YouTube feed, okay? And that's where I'm seeing all the questions. Then on top of that is my OBS software, which is what spools or does something with the filming that I do to put it out on the internet.
Okay.
So I have the bottom part open so I can see questions, and then the top part is what I'm seeing. And there's about a 3-minute delay from what I
3
see.
minutes? Oh, wow.
Yeah, there's a big delay between what I see
Well,
and
has
what
she
they
shown
see.
you anything today that you might be able to use? Or looks to me she's just ironing pretty fabric.
Basically, I ironed that fabric too.
Okay.
Today we're
Did you
ironing.
show them that one that you showed me?
Which one?
The one where you take the square and then
Yeah,
you go
right
around? Oh, this one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think this is very cool.
Yeah, she liked
Yeah,
that
I
when
did.
I showed that. to
I
her.
did like that one.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's all. Lindsay says Mom tries to do busy work while she's doing this so she can answer questions.
There you go.
Yeah.
Perfect.
So I can. Yeah, and it works.
Perfect.
I get to do busy work.
All right. Well, I stopped only because I have to use Margaret's bathroom.
Oh, okay.
And Frank tried to use one at the pit stop, but there was no bathroom.
Oh, no.
So,
Are you serious?
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, well, Mom, have a seat because I'm
Bye,
almost done.
everyone.
I'm almost done. Frank just walked in the studio, too. Sue and Frank are getting married in July, and I am so excited. Because Frank's a nice guy. We like him a lot. He's a good guy. He's a good egg. Where's my sister Jane?
She went home.
She went home shop.
Oh, my sister Jane was here, too, but she left. So, yeah. So that's what's going on today, guys. We've just been busy in the studio. So, yeah, I do iron a lot. Bye, Sue. Bye, Mom. Thank you, guys. So you guys get talking amongst yourselves and find out if you can find 9 people to come to New York. And if we can, then we will end up doing a retreat. I'll come up with a project and it'll be fun. Okay? Rena's bringing a shoe to me. And any minute you may hear the alarm go off because somebody's walking in the driveway. Frank, Jennifer wants to meet you. Here comes Frank. Come on over, Frank. This is my soon-to-be brother-in-law. There's Frank. We like Frank. He's a good egg. He has to be to put up with all of us crazy women. So, congratulations to Sue and Frank. Yeah. All right, guys. I'm going to actually pop off before I finish this bundle of fat quarters only because I want to see my family for a minute. Okay? I will see you guys again next Sunday. Ooh, look at this one. I'll see you guys again next Sunday, and on Friday, there will be a video, and then Saturday probably, so that we get it all ready to go so that you can start Lion's Quilt, because that one's next, okay? Everybody's saying hi to Frank. Okay, guys, I will see you all later this week or next week, okay? Well, Sunday, so we'll see you in a week. There's my sister again.
Bye, guys.
Bye, guys. Talk to you again soon. Wait a minute, Sue. You're still on. You're still on.